Do you feel tired? Do you feel lost? Do you feel so hopeless that you don't know what to do anymore? Do you feel like you just lost all the sense of what is coming next to you, what is left of you as a human being, as an individual? If you don't know who you are anymore, you don't know what to do next, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you what happened to me in my previous videos. I shared how I discovered God and how I found a way of communicating with God and getting guidance from Him. And from that point on, my life just changed the whole trajectory. And I'm not going to go into details. You can go ahead and watch How to Hear from God in my first video. But in this one, I just want to I feel the calling to talk about especially moms and the women who are just lost. And I know it myself, and I can speak it for myself because I'm mom myself. I'm mom of 2 young kids, and I'm married, so my wife. I feel the calling to talk about the roles and the identities. And at the end of this video, you will understand the difference. What is the role? And that if we're getting our identity from the roles, how damaging it could be to us. And when we get our identity from God, this is the ultimate freedom. This is the ultimate pathway, blueprint to transformation, to change your life, to change the life of your kids, of your people around you, the people of your family, the people who you really dear to your heart. So stay with till the end of this video. It's going to be a little bit longer video than my usual, but I feel like this video is very much needed. Well, today I was driving in a car, and my regular routine, I talk to God at any given moment when I have my peace and quiet while I'm driving or taking showers or just going for a walk. So even if I'm prepping meals for my kids or even when I'm working. And this message was coming into me really strong of the roles. And I start to think about it. And when we look at ourselves, and I will be giving an example as a mom, because I've seen a lot of moms struggling right now. They're losing their identity, their true identity in the motherhood. And motherhood is something that highlights and elevates women on the next level. The resilience, the perseverance that we learn about ourselves, that we can endure so many obstacles and juggling. Some moms are full-time homestay moms, and it's a very challenging job. Some moms are working moms and being moms at home, even more challenging than just being homestay mom. Both of them very challenging. And what I see a lot of women, and especially in moms, that we dedicating our life of raising our children and we love them dearly. But what I see again and again, the same pattern that happens, especially the women that I come in contact with, and I think you can also resonate to this, that we're so dedicated to raising our kids to play this role as a mom, as a mother, that we are losing any sense of our true identity. We dissolve it completely. I found myself that I was questioning what left of me when I'm no longer a mom. What am I? What do I like to do? I completely forgot the life that I had before I had kids, and that was my choice, my husband and my choice personal to have kids, and I love being a mom. But I think it's very important that we have to distinguish what role we're playing and what is the identity. And I will talk about it. I'll give you a real life examples. So when we talk about roles and what is the identity, what are those terms? We know the definition of it, but what is the practically? How do we get your identity? And all those identities, they start with I am statement. I am a mom. When you ask someone, what do you do for a living? Oh, I am a homestay mom, or I'm working, I'm a lawyer, or I'm an accountant, or I am the member of this certain community. So as soon as you say I am statement, you're stating your identity. And it is so wrong because our society brainwashed us to believe that our identity could be, we could receive our identity from the roles that we play or from the places that we belong. So for example, if you say I am a mom, yes, that's the role that you play, but what are you? What is your identity? What God made you to be? And those are the two differences. And this society, we got to the point that these two definitions almost merge in one, and this is so wrong. That's why we cannot distinguish. That's why we have women that are getting their identity from being just mom, or being the wives, or being the sisters, or daughters, or being the lawyers, or getting that identity from their career. So once that being taken away from you, what do we have? We have the identity crisis. And what God is kind of guiding me to share with you today, especially if you're mom, especially if you're mom of the young kids, and if you're a working mom, or if you're just a woman who's just lost any sense of connection with yourself, you just don't know who you are anymore. Well, I'm really encouraging you to listen till the end of this video. Well, first of all, let's talk about the roles. So we play these roles. Some roles we did not choose. So I'll give you an example. So I am a woman. I was born in a family. My parents decided to have a fourth child. I'm the youngest out of four sisters. So it was not my choice. They made the decision, and I was placed already in a family. So my role, as soon as I arrived, was to be the youngest daughter, the youngest sister. So those are the roles that I did not choose. And again, I cannot complain about them. Those is something that was predetermined even before I got here. So you have similar roles. Some roles that you did not choose. You didn't choose your family. You didn't choose to be the oldest or the youngest. You didn't choose to be a daughter. You didn't choose to be a sister. You didn't choose to be a brother. So those are the roles that are predetermined. Some roles we choose voluntarily, such as most of us, unless it's arranged marriage, but we're not going to talk about the arranged marriage today. So we will just talk an average person, average woman. We made a choice by marrying and choosing our partner, and we becoming a wife. That's another role that we play. And later on, both of you agreed to have children. So ultimately, you becoming a parent and playing role as a mom or as a dad. Those are the roles that we have control over. So we making those choices. Same thing comes to choosing the career or choosing your friends. And again, those are the role. You being a friend, that's the role. You being an accountant, that's the role, that's the path you choose, but it's not your identity. So what is the identity? And a lot of people think that your role and your identity is the same. No, once we start associate your identity with the role that we play, this is a very dangerous path. Just all the roles that I just described, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a wife, as a friend, as a lawyer, and the list can go on and on and on. Those are the roles that all have the expiration date. And I'm not saying that you will be expired to be a mom or you will be expired to be a wife. No, but at some point in your life, when you were a child, so you played this role of being a daughter, and it was pretty much your full-time role, full-time job to play, to be a daughter, to be a sister, and especially while you were, young, from age of 1 till 18, until you got out of the house. And what I'm saying, what are you saying? So we have certain roles that require our full attention. Like when you were a child, that was your role, to be a daughter, to be a sister, to be a sibling. And as we grow, those roles become our part-time. I call it, they become our part-time jobs, part-time roles. So you don't spend that much time with your siblings anymore, or your parents, you don't live maybe with them in the same town anymore. So your full time role as a sister, as a daughter, eventually is going to be going to a part-time. So the next role that we engage right now, I'm mom. I'm a full-time mom and I'm working mom. So, but first I'm mom, and my kids are very young. So my full energy, my full attention goes to raising my kids, spending time with these kids, cherish that moment. But again, this is the role. At some point, the kid's gonna grow up, and they're not gonna be needing that much of my attention anymore. What happened? Again, the same pattern, just like with the sister and with the daughter. I'm never gonna expire to be a mom, but I'm gonna transfer to be slowly transition into a part-time mom when my kids will be discovering their own path, when they're not going to be needing me that much anymore. And the question remains, same thing comes to career. If you are the lawyer or the accountant or whatever that could be, musician or artist, those are the things that you do, but you do not get your identity from those roles. All those roles has expiration dates. At some point in your life, they will require a full attention, a full-time job, like full-time role that you're gonna play. But at some point, they're gonna expire. You're not gonna be needing that much anymore. Like if you're the lawyer, at some point you will be either fired, or you're gonna resign, or you know, gonna retire. So what's gonna left of you? Same thing comes to mom. When your kids grow up, what is gonna left of you? What is gonna happen to you? And I think this is such an important topic to talk about when we distinguish the difference between the roles we play and between the identity. And what is the identity and how do we get it? And it's important to understand that you should not be getting your identity from the roles that we've been assigned to or chose to play to. For example, let's take a mom scenario. Someone who dedicated their entire life to raise kids, being an amazing mom, being an amazing caregiver, nurturer. Someone who is getting her full identity from being a mom. This is what she thinks she is. But in reality, her identity is so much more just than being a mom. And that identity could be only received from God. If you ask God, I just name all the roles that we play as a mom, as a sister, as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, as a coworker. Those are all the roles that we play. Those are not our identity. We should not be getting identities from those roles, because ultimately we're gonna face a crisis. We're gonna feel by the time you will be no longer needed in that company, or by the time when your kids grown up and they're not going to need you that much anymore, or maybe your friend is going to move to a different country and your friendship is going to break up. Like what is going to left of you? And that's most important and the most liberating thing you can ever know. If you receive your identity from God, and he can only call you by the name that makes sense to you, and I will explain you how you can receive it, you ultimately get this freedom and liberation, because if your identity comes from places, from communities, from roles that we play, this is always a temporary identity, and you will face the identity crisis when that thing will be removed from you or taken away from you. The identity that we get, or name that we get from God, this is something that will stay with you forever. It will not be determined what people think of you. It will not be determined what place you live. It's the name, a very unique name that God is calling you, and you will be showing up in those roles as someone having that identity, that it's not attached to you being a mom, being a lawyer, being a wife, being a daughter, being a member of a certain community. And when I discovered that, and I asked God, by what name do you call me? And I remember when the first time I received, he said, someone who's going to give hope and faith. And it sounded almost unbelievable at the time, but yet it made sense to me. And I started to analyze my whole life. I was engaged in a project, or I had moments in my life when I did inspire people, when I did inspire my friends, when I did inspire my sisters, or someone who in my close proximity, and I didn't treat it as something significant. I thought, oh, everybody does it. Like it wasn't something a big of a deal. And I was getting my identity from being just to describe, I thought I was a mom, I was an accountant, I was a daughter. And I got to the point when I realized I don't even know who I am anymore. Because yet those roles are still in place, but I feel such a disconnect and I don't know what I am anymore. So this is what I went to God and I asked him a question. What am I? Why did you send me here? By what name do you call me? And I just waited and waited for a few moments, and then I got this sensation. It's like a download, a thought that came into me. It was very clear, and it was someone who gives hope and faith. So how do I implement that in my life right now? Someone who gives hope and faith. I'm still mom, I'm still a wife, I'm still a daughter. But now, knowing my identity as someone who gives hope and faith, I show up so differently in my roles. I know one day, I clearly understand that my roles one day will expire. But my performance, I come and show up every day knowing my identity, that I'm someone who's going to give hope and faith. Meaning I do my parenting style differently now. The way I talk to my kids, I talk differently. My role as a mom is now fully transformed, and I am acting from the lens of someone who gives hope and faith. Same thing comes to me being a wife. Every time when we have a disagreement with my husband, I coming into back to my identity and remembering I'm someone who gives hope and faith. And how can I perform that as a being playing this role as a wife? How can I implement that as a being a coworker or being a sister? Do you know what I mean? Like it's changed the whole trajectory of me, how I look at myself. I start to have my own project that involves someone making videos like this, writing books, and I present myself there as someone who gives hope and faith. The book that I'm writing is very inspiring story. It's going to bring a lot of hope and faith to any readers who's going to read it. Some videos that I make, I always come to ask the same questions. How can I make this video that's going to bring hope and faith? So your whole life is going to revolves around the idea of your identity and how you can present itself, and the roles that you're going to keep playing. Those roles are not going to be canceled, but you will know your identity in this. You will know what the talent, what the skills God equipped you with, and you just need to execute. You just need to execute and do the things, all the things, the same roles that you're going to play, but you will be using this sense of identity, the sense of knowing of who you are in the God's eyes, not the people's eyes, and the God's eyes. And that will transform your life. You will look at your children and you will understand, yes, I'm your mom, but I am also someone who's going to give hope and faith. So my whole parenting style revolves around how can I give hope and faith to my children? What do I say? What conversation do I have with them? If I'm lashing out, I'm trying to recap really fast and find a way to repair that problem, repair that issue that I still need to work on. And again, your identity that God gives to us, it's just like a foundation. Do you know when we build a house, the very important part of building a house, it's a foundation. And God is laying down the foundation in each and every one of us. It is in us. And it's very symbolic. This foundation, that's your identity, that it's already in you. You're not going to get it from anyone. You don't need to go on a seminar. You don't need to read a book. It's already in you. God already installed it in you. It's there. But foundation, so why do we need foundation when we build a house? Because this is the first thing that the whole structure is going to go up from foundation. But foundation itself is not a full project. It's not done. You cannot live in a house that only has foundation. So you need build a house, right? If you would look at yourself, and I know some people refer it as a inner temple or your spiritual temple. Yes, it is a foundation that God laid in you, and that's your identity. You have to know your name, by what name God calls you. That's the step number one. Go to Him and ask Him, by what name do you call me? What is how do you see me? And just wait for the answer. Once you know the answer, so you know your name, like in my case, someone who gives hope and faith, meaning I discovered that foundation. So I found it in me, but it's not done. I still need to build this up. But how do I build this up? By coming to God every day and ask Him, what do you want me to do? As someone who gives hope and faith, I know another woman received her identity, and her identity is someone who speaks to the heart. Every time when she comes to the prayer, she asks Him, as someone who speaks to the people's hearts, what do you want me to do today? How I can evolve into that? What do you want me to do? And what project do you want me to be involved that will highlight those qualities? Meaning you will gonna keep building that up. So imagine again, like I said, God gave you this, lay down the foundation. He knows your identity. He gave you that identity. It's not attached to your husband. It's not attached to your kids. It's not attached to your communities. It's not attached to your family or whatever place you're coming from. It doesn't matter if you're Buddhist or Christian. It doesn't matter. God does not look at you and say, oh, this is the Buddhist. Oh, this is the... No. You are his creation and he has a plan for you. So he laid down this foundation again, meaning your identity. So you need to find out what it is. Once you know what it is, you start to build that up. Because look at yourself. So God is the ultimate architect. So imagine the temple that he's building inside you. He already did the hardest part. The foundation is the most important, the hardest part to do. So he already built it. It's in there. You just need to come and reclaim it. That's all you need to do. This is the task number one. Go to him, ask him, by what name do you call me? And what is my identity? Or you can ask, what do you call me? Or what do you think of me? And it just wait. It will come into as a download, a sensation. It will come in a sense that makes sense only to you. So once we know by what name God is calling you, meaning we discover that foundation. So what do we do next? So we cannot live in a house that is not fully built. It's only foundation. It's just the beginning. So what do we do next? We come to him every single day and ask, give me the wisdom to understand how I can develop, how I can build this identity up, and what projects should be involved, and what jobs I should be doing, and what roles, how can I implement this identity as being a mom? Well, I want to raise my kids in a way that equals to my identity, that it resonates with my identity, and you will be blown away the way that ideas will come into your life. Like when I started to discover it, I didn't know that I could write a book. I've written a book. I'm already in my second book right now. I had no idea that I possessed that. And as soon as I discovered the name that God is calling me, my whole ideas of writing a book, how I'm going to write the book, it was all revolving how I can make this book in a way that is going to bring hope and faith, and the ideas that were pouring into my head to write it will blow you away. Same thing comes with creating this channel. I started to ask the question, how can I build this identity? So you said I'm someone who give hope and faith, but I'm giving that as a mom. I'm giving that, yes, I'm using that as a roles as a mom, as roles as a woman, as a wife, as a sister, but I know there is something more. There is more, but what is it? And then it became idea of creating this channel and started to make videos for the other women and people who need hope and faith. And maybe this video will resonate with some people, maybe with some it's not going to resonate, and that's okay too. So the point is, once you know your name, it means you discover the foundation that's already in you. You don't need to go and get a PhD on this. It's already in you. Your job is just to come to God every single day and ask him, now I know what I am in your eyes. Now I know by what name you call me. Now give me the wisdom. Help me to understand how I can build this identity up. And ask him questions every single day, and every project that you're being invited to any ideas that are coming into your life. If that's resonate with your identity, go for it. Don't wait. Execute. And I guarantee you're going to feel so inspired. You're going to have a better sense of understanding of who you are. You will be understanding that every single person that you come in contact with also have that identity, and some just completely unaware, completely don't know that they possess this treasure qualities that are being unused. So the step number one, you ask him, by what name do you call me? How do you see me? And just wait. Once you receive that identity, that name, hold on to it. It meaning you discover the foundation. Now the next step would be building those blocks, building that house. And the God is ultimate architect. He has the plan. We don't even know how big this house is going to be. Maybe it's going to be 10 stories. Maybe it's going to be 2 levels. Maybe it's going to be 5 levels. Or maybe it's going to be a high-rise building in you. This is how strong some identities are. We don't know, and that's the mystery of it. So that's why you come, and that's what keeps you excited. You come to him every day. So I will give you an example right now, and it's just mind-blowing. As soon as I discover my identity, that I know I'm someone who's going to give hope and faith, my roles are still in place. I'm still a mom, I'm still a daughter, I'm still a wife, I'm still a friend, I'm still a co-worker to someone. But now I show up as someone who gives hope and faith, and I understand all those roles might be taken away from me tomorrow by my identity of someone who gives hope and faith will be never taken away from me unless God decided that he no longer needs it anymore on this planet. Do you know how important it is? Do you know that once you, and liberating actually, that you're not being attached to any place or person. You're not getting your identity from people, from your family, from your whatever the community you're coming from. Those are the roles. So let's not mix two together. Like, realize what role you play. Yes, that's your role, but that's not who you really are. But who you really are, only God can give you, and you can receive it from him. You don't need to beg him for it. All you need to ask. Just come and ask. Find 5 or 10 minutes in a day. If your mom, when your kids go to bed, that's how I started. When my kids were to bed, that was the only quiet time that I was able to have for myself. When they were to bed, I was using my half an hour just sitting in a quiet place and asking the questions, by what name do you call me? Oh, how do you see me? Show me how you see me, God. Like, just show me. Why am I here? And when I received the answer, from that point on, my life was never the same. My life just changed in a better way that I couldn't even imagine a year ago, that I will be standing today and talking to you, to other people. Now I have people reaching out to me and asking, how did you get there? Because they see the results. It's not some theory that I read or went on a seminar. No, this is my life experience. This is what happened into my life every single day. And I get even more excited because I don't know the whole plan. I don't know God, the architect. What this identity is going to grow into, I don't know. I don't know the map, but I know where to go and who to ask. I don't go to ask the people what they think of me. I don't go to ask to my husband. I don't go to ask to my sisters. I don't get my identity from them anymore. And again, if you're not becoming this arrogant, brat, no, your relationship with the people are actually gonna transformed as well, because they will see the benefits that God is doing into your life. They will see the transformation that's happening to your character. You will have this sense of certainty, the confidence that you cannot mimic that, you cannot repeat that, you cannot make that up. The confidence, the certainty that I'm speaking right now with you, and I know I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just sharing what happened into my life. And for some people, if it's gonna land, good. If not, life is long. When you're gonna feel hopeless and frustrated, come back, rewatch this video, and you might find it helpful. That's what happens when you know who you really are, and when you are not getting your identity from people, from places. It's not attached to the clothes you wear, what car you're driving. Those are all temporarily roles that we play, and you cannot get your true identity from it. The only true identity can be received from God. And once you know, it's like you will find the foundation that's already in you. You don't need to go to the college, you don't need to go to the seminar, you don't need to go to the guru and the life coaches that have no idea. They're also lost and frustrated. They don't know who they are. Half of them don't even know who they are, to be honest. And also remembering that we were raised by the parents who were also confused, who also didn't know who they are. They also didn't know their identity. They were getting their identity from the roles that they were playing. So, and they were raised by their parents who also were confused and didn't know what to do, or didn't know how to ask God and how to get those identity from God. So we have to become aware, and we have to break that cycle and understand, okay, yes, I'm coming from this family, but I'm not getting my identity from this family. Those are the roles that I'm going to play, but I will show up as someone as God sees me. Once I receive that identity from Him, you're going to be free. You're going to be people, you will be like a magnet. People will come to you. They want to be talking to you. They want to be engaging with you without even knowing why. And you will see that on a daily basis. And especially at the very beginning, yes, your faith is going to be very weak, but keep coming, keep asking. That's what He only wants. He doesn't want you to do anything for Him. He wants you just to come and ask and receive. And once you receive the wisdom, don't wait out. Act on it. So today I received this calling to record this video. I could have said, oh, I can record this on Thursday. But I felt this urge, I have to record it now. So every wisdom that you receive from God, you have to execute. Act on it. The more you're going to be executing, the more knowledge He's going to be opening up to you. So, because imagine if you have a children, for example, or you have a friend who you willingly sharing your advice, and they come for you for advice, but they never take your advice. They're just asking just to ask. They never actually take it seriously, or even if they do, they just, maybe I will use that advice next year, or maybe I will use that advice, in a few days. So obviously, at some point you will think, why would I even bother give you advice if you never even take my piece of advice? So same thing comes to God. When you come to Him, just ask Him, give me idea of someone. I know my name now. Give me ideas. Inspire me. Give me the thoughts, the ideas that can transform my life, that I can help me to build this identity that I received from you. And you will be blown away that amount of ideas that will be pouring into your life. People will come into your life offering you some project that you never even thought that they can offer you before. You will come up maybe like, oh, maybe I should write a book, or maybe I should start making the videos, or maybe I should start my own business. You will be blown away the ideas that God will give you. But the only question remains, are you going to act on it, or are you just going to sit and think, oh, that sounds like a good idea, but I don't think that I can do it. So, and that comes to the trust. And again, I will make another video about it, the trust, and how I started to write my book, because I have never written a book in my life. I don't have any role models. I didn't go to university on literature. I had no idea. And I've written my book, and now it's in the editing process, and I understand that, wow, I've done this all, it's almost a 400 pages long book. And it was like, how did I do that? I never studied. I never had a role model to follow. But the only thing that I did persistently, I came to God every single day and asked Him, please help me to complete this book. Please give me ideas. Please inspire me to write this book in a way that will match to my identity as someone who gives hope and faith. So my whole book revolves around hope and faith and perseverance, and self-discovery and discovery of who we really are. So that could be your story. That could be your story of, or maybe He's gonna give you an idea to start the business that you had this idea long ago, but you never executed, you never had the courage. So I'm really encouraging you, do not wait. Right now, if you have time, pause this video, go ahead and ask Him very simple question. By what name do you call me? Or how do you see me? Or what is my purpose? Whatever the question it could be. And then just wait. Just calm your mind and wait for the answer, and it will come to you. And when it comes, don't brush it off. Act on it. Execute. And the next day you come back again. It's like brushing teeth. We brush them every day, twice a day. Right? You cannot brush teeth in advance. Right? Oh, I'm going to brush my teeth enough for a month in advance. No, we do it every day. Because we have so many bad ideas, bad negative emotions coming into us. So we need that brushing, and that's the only brushing we can get from God. So you have to come to him, unload your burden, unload your problem, and ask him, what do you want me to do in this situation? Please let me know. And wait. And I guarantee you, if you're gonna follow this, in a few months and a year, your life will be transformed. The people around you will be looking at you and asking, how did you get so much energy? How do you get so enthusiastic all the time? How do you come up with these ideas? Because you will be pouring all these ideas, and the beauty of it, you won't be able to store it just for yourself. You will be wanted to share with others. And that's the beautiful part of discovering your true identity, because you know there is no need to hide, there is no need to store or hide, because enough for everybody. It's enough for everybody, and you will know it. So I really hope this video helps you. It brings you some hope and faith and clarity in your life. And now you know to what source to go and get your identity, because you don't go to people to get your identity. You don't go to get identity from what your husband thinks of you, or what your sister thinks of you, or what your brother thinks of you, or what your mom or your dad think of you. Those are all the roles. Those are all temporarily false identity that being placed on us. But the true identity can only come and received from God. And once you receive it, nothing and no one can take it away from you. And you're the only person who can build that identity up. And the beautiful part is, you don't know how big this identity is. You have no idea what thing you could accomplish by knowing, but simply knowing who you really are. You may be the one who will be inspiring other people. You may be the one who's going to create a business, or you may be going to become a great teacher or inventor. You don't know unless you ask. So I really encourage you today, don't waste your time. Especially if you're a mom, I know how busy your schedule might look like. When your kids go to bed, or when you have that, if you're working, during your break, go to your car, go to a quiet place and ask a very simple question. Ask him, God, the one who made me, the one who made the heavens and the earth. And doesn't matter if you're Christian, doesn't matter if you're baptized or you're Buddhist or you're Muslim, doesn't matter. He doesn't see you as a Muslim. He doesn't look at you as a Buddhist. He doesn't look at you as a mother. He looks at you under this unique identity that he gave you. The foundation that he laid in you even before you were born. And he only waits for you to ask that question so you can finally receive it. And once you receive it, don't dismiss it. Act on it. Act on it. Hold to it. And you will blow away how your life will be transformed. I really hope this video blesses you. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, do not let the world to dim your light.